Hi guys, some of you remember I've got a Fluval G6 bought second hand, probably when was it, early summer, late spring last year. It's been working fine. Just recently, probably the last month or so, it's been having a lot of issues with low flow warnings, and last week I guess really, it's been making some hideous noises, and it's saying check the impeller. The impeller just sits in there. There's a little rubber bush at the bottom, then a washer, ceramic axle, the impeller that goes over the top, and then a washer, a rubber plug, and then the disc that sits in here. I'll probably show you that on another video. I actually bought a spare impeller along with the gasket set last year for this. They're pretty expensive spares actually. Can't remember how much the impeller was, but it was probably £35–40. Just come to, when I fitted the new one the other day just to see if it made any difference. Of course it didn't. And when I was stripping this down a minute ago in the sink, I realised that the impeller diameter is actually smaller than the original, although it was supposed to be for the G6. So I'll have to go back through eBay and see whether I bought the wrong thing there or not. But I'm pretty much have had enough of this playing up. The marine filter that I bought especially for this blocks up in 2 or 3 days. The normal standard filters will last an awful lot longer than that. So I thought, just for the hell of it, we might as well just take this apart and have a look at it and see maybe why you get this salt creep all over the securing handles. These I forget what they called them. They had a funny name. They're supposed to be really tough and durable and not corrode, but that's definitely not the case in a marine situation. So yeah, sod it. I also wanted to know why virtually every one of these I've ever seen has got the funny sort of pattern. It almost looks like moisture in there. You see that dark patch there. This is only steamed up at the moment because I've been a bit careless in the sink with it, and it's got soaking wet, and it's now come out here into the workshop that's probably 8 degrees, so it's just misted up. But it'd be very nice to know why that actually happens, what they cocked up there to allow that to happen on virtually every one I've seen. If you're careful, you can squeeze it out of the way, but within 5 minutes or so, it's I don't know whether you can see it properly with the lights, it's back again. So yeah, we're going to have a look. There's 8 screws here, 2 in each corner. So we are just going to see if we can get these apart. That went with quite a crack, so that probably means they're put in with some sort of sealant. I don't suppose this was ever meant to be taken apart, but at this stage I don't really care what happens to it. I did try to run it just like this out of the main tank, but of course there is a air in tank feature, so it knows that it's empty, and obviously it won't let the motor start up because of the damage that it would probably do. So we're going to see how far we can get this apart, and whether this was a good buy when it was new for £399, I think it was. Now this came out quite a few years ago, as some of you will remember, and of course it was hailed as the latest greatest development in external filters, I think at the time, by Fluval. And despite the fact that it's been out, I don't know, what is it, 6–7 years, something like that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much end of life product now. But I still see a company, is it Aqua Cadabra or something like that, on eBay, selling it like it's just been released, at $399, and saying it's a new product. Oops. Oh, that's all those screws out, and some water. looks like they were, I was going to say they were stainless steel screws, as you would expect in a quality product, and yeah, I think they probably are, but probably not the very best stainless screws, as you can see by that corrosion, but they're yeah, certainly not just steel. I see another couple of Torx head screws just in the middle here, and we'll just see if we've got anything that will fit that. Hopefully they haven't used some weird size that I haven't got. No. Unfortunately, I should have thought about this and got my kit of special bits out to see if we can find the right size. That's the one. Now, if we get stuck at any point with this, we'll just abandon the video and I'll strip it down without boring you guys, and then film what we've got. Another screw, 2, 4, 6, 8. There we go, bit of movement there. Seems just stuck at the front. I wonder if there's a little tab there that's holding it on. They're so corroded that it's really hard to open these. It could be that there's something behind here. See if we can get this membrane off. Oh, well, no, there's a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. There's an actual tack switch behind here. I thought these were those nasty cheap you know, switches with the little plastic, you know, the metal cup that you pushed and it clicked and then clicked back into position, like you get on the joysticks from years ago. So that actually is yeah, 4 proper switches there. Unfortunately it's not really helped very much. I still don't see why that's not coming off. Well, I guess we'll just force it. Oh, there we go. A couple of side pieces, they're the actual handles. Let's chuck them. See what we've got. So there is, we've got mains coming in here. There is some sort of sensor there. We'll have a look at that in a minute and see what that is. So that is probably Yeah, I don't know, that's probably the air sensor. That is all potted, so that is we've got mains coming in here, it's then going into this block with the display, and I suspect it's then coming out a little bit of blockage there, but nothing that's going to stop this from working. Well, I think we'll just get this this display out. It looks like this is all going to be sealed and we're not going to be able to do anything at all with this. You can see the corrosion all over that. Of course, it's no surprise that it's all potted, but I'm sure we can crack it open for a closer look, like we did with that Jabo WP10 that failed on me some months ago. Hearing from a lot of other people now that they're failing within the 12-month period. That's fine if you've bought it from this country, but obviously it's going to be an issue if you bought it directly from the other place in China or Hong Kong. Fish Street, is it .com? It's going to be an awful lot harder to get it swapped over in warranty if it's been bought from overseas. Good seal all around this, and that does not want to come off of there. All the screws that are obvious. Actually, I think that has been potted in inside this, but if you look, I don't know whether you can see, if you look down behind that wire there, I don't know whether you can see it or not, but it looks like some of this, that's quite soft actually, so it's probably silicone. Well, I'm sure it's silicone. I think they've put it all underneath this and then pushed this down and then screwed it together. Actually, the screws are just holding the top of this down, and that is all pretty well sealed up. Strangely, there's a couple of bungs here, plastic bungs, which seem to have been sealed up with no, it's not silicone because it's still soft, some sort of mastic. So let's pop, let's see if we can pop those out. Yeah, again, doesn't really give you access to anything. We've got this same sort of material. It's semi, well, I say semi-set, but parts of it seem very much like silicone, and the rest is a more sticky substance. Whereas down here, you can see that that is proper potting compound. So I think we're really going to struggle to get this apart. I suspect I'm going to have to, yeah, look, there's a gasket here. I think I'm just going to have to break this open off of film with a hammer and chisel, and update you tomorrow. nice and tight. Of course, that was the motor connect. Oh no, it's not the motor connections at all, is it? That is the salinity sensor there, and the two. Let me bring this. Yeah, the salinity sensor is here, and all I've done there is the two wires that are coming up through here were obviously potted into this channel, and then they go up into this main unit. So that cracking noise was actually that potting breaking. You can see here that that's been put in. That is a tough epoxy. I don't know whether that helped with damping vibration or whether it was just used to purely hold it in place. Surprisingly heavy actually. So anything interesting on this. Well, that, I don't know whether you can see, is the date 15th of December 2009, 7:10 in the morning. There's a revision number, 22nd of the 609. Test OK. I just wonder if we can crack this open. I think that's definitely going to need something large and sharp and probably heavy as well to get in there. A lot of silicone, a lot of epoxy all around that. I can just see some signs of the front display panel there. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see what's going on there. And of course the motor itself is driven from this. So in my case that may well be faulty. Anyway, I won't bother you any further with that tonight. We'll get this taken apart and see what's in there. And if anybody wants a lot of G6 parts, because everything else on it is fine, the hoses, all of the couplings, etc., baskets, the only thing that is no good anymore is this. Right, catch you later.